The comfortable life that's silently killing your potential. Most people never ruin their lives. They don't self-destruct. They don't collapse dramatically. They simply settle. They wake up, follow routines they didn't consciously choose, pursue goals that feel safe instead of meaningful, and call it being realistic. And years later, they wonder why something inside them feels strangely hollow. Think about this for a moment. What if the greatest danger to your potential isn't failure, but comfort? What if the life that feels easiest today is quietly stealing the life you were meant to live tomorrow? Because here's the uncomfortable truth no one likes to say out loud. A comfortable life rarely asks you who you truly are. And a life that never asks, never reveals. We live in a world that worships comfort. Comfort is sold as success. Stability is sold as wisdom. Safety is sold as maturity. But Carl Jung warned that the greatest burden a child must bear is the unlived life of its parents, not the chaotic life, not the failed life. The unlived one, because what we suppress doesn't disappear, it sinks. And it waits. Jung believed that when we avoid our deeper callings, our unexpressed selves form what he called the shadow, the parts of us that remain unconscious, undeveloped, and denied. And the shadow does not punish us loudly. It drains us quietly. Low energy, chronic dissatisfaction, a vague sense that life is happening around you instead of through you, not because something is wrong with you, but because something essential is missing. Now ask yourself this. When was the last time your life truly challenged you, not stressed you, not overwhelmed you, but challenged you in a way that demanded growth? Friedrich Nietzsche believed that comfort weakens the spirit. He wrote that one must still have chaos in oneself to be able to give birth to a dancing star. Growth, in Nietzsche's view, required tension, the friction between who you are and who you could become. Without that tension, the soul stagnates. Comfort removes that tension. It numbs the hunger that once pushed you forward. It replaces curiosity with convenience. It whispers, "This is good enough." And slowly, without noticing, you stop becoming. But here's what no one tells you. Comfort doesn't feel dangerous. That's why it's so effective. It feels responsible. It feels adult. It feels like you're doing the right thing. Napoleon Hill called this state drifting, living reactively instead of intentionally. He observed that most people never consciously decide their future. They simply accept whatever feels easiest in the moment. And drifting doesn't feel like failure. It feels like normal life. Until one day, you wake up and realize you've been busy, but not fulfilled. Productive, but not alive. Viktor Frankl, who survived the horrors of concentration camps, understood something profoundly unsettling. Human beings can endure almost any suffering, except a life without meaning. Frankl wrote that meaning does not come from comfort or pleasure, but from responsibility, from committing yourself to something that asks more of you than you want to give. And this is where the comfortable life becomes truly dangerous, because comfort removes the necessity for meaning. If nothing is demanded of you, nothing awakens within you, and the soul, when not needed, begins to decay. Alan Watts once observed that modern humans have become experts at avoiding life while still technically living. We distract ourselves. We numb ourselves. We stay busy enough not to feel the deeper questions rising. But the questions never stop. Is this really it? Is this who I am? Why do I feel restless, even when everything is fine? That restlessness is not a flaw. It is a signal that the self you are living is smaller than the self you could become. While Carl Jung believed this tension came from the unconscious pushing toward wholeness, Napoleon Hill saw it as unused mental potential. Different language, same truth. Your dissatisfaction is not random. It is the friction between your current life and your deeper capacity. But instead of listening, most people silence it. They upgrade the distractions. They rationalize the compromise. They tell themselves they'll change someday, and someday quietly turns into never. Think about this carefully. The comfortable life doesn't collapse suddenly. It erodes you slowly. You stop risking rejection, so you stop expressing truth. You stop risking failure, so you stop attempting greatness. You stop risking discomfort, so you stop growing. And eventually, you stop recognizing yourself. Carl Jung warned that until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Comfort keeps you unconscious, not asleep, but unawake. But here's the turning point. Discomfort is not punishment. It is an invitation. Every great psychological transformation begins the same way, with a crisis of comfort. A moment when the old life no longer satisfies, but the new life hasn't fully emerged. This is the space where potential is born. Nietzsche would call it the crossing from the herd into self-overcoming. Frankl would call it the moment, meaning, demands response. Jung would call it individuation, the process of becoming who you truly are. Different voices, one path. You are not designed for ease. You are designed for becoming. The tension you feel is not a sign you're failing. It's a sign you're being called forward. And the moment you stop anesthetizing that tension, the moment you lean into it, life begins to speak again. Clarity returns. Energy rises. Purpose sharpens. Not because life becomes easier, but because it becomes truer. So ask yourself, gently but honestly, where have I chosen comfort over growth? Where have I traded meaning for safety? Which part of me have I been postponing? Because the life you're avoiding is often the life that would save you. The comfortable life doesn't kill your potential all at once. It asks you to surrender it quietly, day by day. But awareness changes everything. The moment you see it, you can no longer unsee it. And from that moment on, every choice becomes a doorway. If this message spoke to you, subscribe to Becoming You and keep growing with us. And if you watched until the end, comment the word awakening and share your thoughts below.